lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 31st of October in the year 2025. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. Civil society organizations urge government to halt FLAWED constitutional reform consultations. NELLY MUTTI orders MPIKA and MKUSHI South MPs to produce evidence on power exports. Government on course to attain 1 million metric tons of copper production. In international news, Tanzania plunges into chaos as opposition is barred from presidential race. In sports news, Zambia under-17 boys touch down in Qatar for FIFA World Cup. Join me for these and many more stories after the break.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and on the Kingstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Acting Secretary to a Cabinet, Mr. Siazongo Siakalenge, says Zambia is on course to achieve its 2025 target of producing 1 million metric tons of copper following significant reforms and increased investment in the mining sector. Speaking during the official opening of the third quarter National Development Coordinating Committee NDCC meeting in Lusaka, Mr. Siakalenge said government reforms have created a stable policy environment that has attracted new investments and improved sector performance. He revealed that copper production rose to 820,676 metric tons in 2024 from 736,747 metric tons in 2023, reflecting the positive impact of policy and fiscal stability in the mining sector. Mr. Siakalenge said government remains confident of meeting its long-term target of producing 3 million metric tons of copper annually by 2031, in line with the 8th National Development Plan. The Acting Secretary to a Cabinet noted that Zambia is now diversifying its mineral portfolio beyond copper to include gold, manganese, nickel, cobalt, and lithium minerals that are key to the global green energy transition.
Mopani, I think you are very much aware. We are saying 400 million, but overall it is about $1.1 million $1 billion that is being invested in Mopani, and in KCM as well. There is ongoing investments. That is evidence that the policies are working. Then we look at the greenfields. We are attracting $2.726 billion dollars. I like the kwacha, but this is the dollar. And these are due to start producing in the course of 2026. Some of them have already started ground stripping. For cobalt or mingomba, you may wish to know that as at yesterday and today, there is a meeting of shaft sinkers in Chirabombwe. Globally, all shaft sinkers and potential suppliers to cobalt mine were invited to meet them and talk about their expectation and what they are able to do at that mine. So you can see it is happening. Then there is ESG as an intervention to ensure that we do not mine and destroy the environment.
Vice President Mtalena Lumango has called on citizens and stakeholders to follow the law to ensure that the 2026 general elections are free, fair, and credible. Mrs. Nalumango emphasized that Zambia is a democratic nation and as such, no one should violate the law. She urged everyone to accept the election results. She was responding to a question raised in Parliament by the Member of Parliament for Congo. Zambia will hold presidential elections in August next year.
Extremely unprecedented, knowing the kind of environment that we had, where the economy was really going into doldrums. But you were saying, what is the promise to the Zambian people? Madam, I think even the president, when he was here to open this session, he spoke of assuring people that we are going to have free and fair elections. And that's the way to go. All of us, the promise on behalf of your government, this government, is that we should all ensure we adhere to the tenets of the law, we adhere to our democratic practices, because this is how you will have it free and fair. Nobody should break the law. The assurance is that everybody should and will have their space, and elections that are credible, the election that will be credible, the election that will give comfort to everybody, and everybody should be able to accept the results. We have come a long way. We can't pull back today. We are a democratic country. We will follow through and ensure the winner wins. The loser accepts. No, you. I'm sorry, madam. I think the minister is leading me here. All of us will participate lawfully, legally, so that the results will be acceptable, because they will be credible. This is the Zambia that we all want, and the Zambia that we all know.
Meanwhile, Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly MUTTI, has directed the members of Parliament from MPIKA and MKUSHI South to submit evidence by Friday next week, showing that independent power producers are exporting electricity on behalf of ZESCO. Ms. MUTTI warned that failure to provide such evidence will result in consequences for allegedly misleading Parliament. In a related development, Republican Vice President Mtalena Lumango has denied claims that Zambia is exporting power. She stated that the government has been engaging with other countries to revise power supply contracts in light of the current electricity deficit facing the nation.
Honorable member from MPIKA, your is being imported to ZESCO or imported on behalf of ZESCO. Please, including the honorable member from MKUSHI, by Friday next week, produce evidence, lay it on behalf of on the floor of the table, so that we can inquire in this issue, because it has been coming on and on. Please bring the evidence. The honorable member from MKUSHI, the honorable member from MPIKA, you are jointly ordered. You are jointly ordered to, on Friday next week, to bring evidence and lay it on the floor of the House, failure to which, for misleading the House, there can be some consequences. Because we have to be serious in this House. Bring that evidence, please. In the meantime, don't talk about something which is not verifiable.
A coalition of civil society organizations has called on the government to halt the ongoing constitutional reform consultations, citing serious flaws in the process being conducted by the technical committee. The coalition, led by Alliance for Community Action Executive Director Laura Mitty, says the exercise lacks transparency, inclusivity and credibility, and risks producing a constitution that does not reflect the will of the Zambian people. Ms. Mitty said civil society monitors observed numerous irregularities during consultations held in several provinces, including poor public awareness, unclear venues, and the absence of clear procedural guidelines. She noted that in some cases, citizens were subjected to subjective questioning or pressured to alter their submissions, while others were made to sign documents they did not understand. She further expressed concern that the process has excluded rural communities due to the lack of translation services and decentralized platforms for submissions.
The undersigned civil society organizations are concerned about the ongoing public consultations being undertaken by the technical committee mandated to consult the Zambian people and draft proposed amendments to the Constitution. As we have consistently stated, the current constitutional reform process is fundamentally flawed, restrictive, and inconsistent with the principles of transparency, accountability, inclusivity, and genuine public participation. We, however, have encouraged citizens to make submissions to the technical committee so that their views are on record. It is therefore the manner in which the process of engaging with the committee is taking place that has deeply concerned the teams observing it. From the 27th to the 29th of October 2025, the undersigned civil society organizations and partners monitored the technical committee consultations in Eastern, Northern, Central, Western, and Northwestern provinces. Our observations and feedback from stakeholders and monitors have revealed a number of serious concerns that further call into question the legitimacy, inclusiveness, and credibility of the ongoing process. We set them out below. The first is limited public awareness. The majority of citizens remain unaware of the ongoing consultations due to inadequate publicity and poor information dissemination. Many community members were uninformed about the process, timelines, or how to participate, thereby undermining the spirit of citizen ownership and engagement. As we have repeatedly stated, genuine constitutional reforms must be preceded by civic awareness to ensure the public is aware and informed about the process.
The Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum Zambia has expressed serious concern over the Electoral Commission of Zambia's handling of the ongoing voter registration exercise, describing the process as poorly managed and lacking agency. The forum says the registration of only 200,080 voters during phase 1 was alarmingly low and reflected inadequate preparedness ahead of the 2026 general elections. Chairperson Solomon Goma says the low turnout was a clear indication that the Commission was failing to effectively mobilize and register eligible citizens. He warned that at the current pace, ECZ risks compromising the credibility and fairness of next year's polls.
We urge the ECZ to take this process with the seriousness it deserves. At this rate, we are compelled to conclude that the Commission is not adequately prepared to conduct a credible and a fair election in 2026. We echo the sentiments of President Hakainde Hichilema and other stakeholders regarding the persistent breakdown of ECZ voter registration equipment. These technical failures are significantly slowing down the process and undermining the public confidence. The Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum Zambia would like to call on the ECZ to urgently address these operational challenges and ensure that more citizens are captured in the upcoming phases. We also call for an extension of the voter registration exercise until the end of December 2025. Public awareness has been extremely poor. Many Zambians are unaware of how to register due to lack of IEC materials. We further appeal to the ECZ chairperson, Madam Mwangara Ziromesh, and the other commissioners to take decisive leadership and hold ECZ management accountable. The current state of affairs is unacceptable and it demands immediate corrective action. Additionally, we also call upon the Ministry of Home Affairs, particularly the Department of National Registration Green Card, to release district NRC statistics to ECZ Withholding such critical data hampers the Commissioner's ability to plan effective and borders on institutional sabotage. Finally, we encourage all eligible Zambians to participate in the voter registration process. Voting is not only a constitutional right, but also a vital opportunity to sharpen the future of our nation. We urge citizens to obtain their national registration cards and register as voters to avoid not participating in the 2026 elections. Your vote is your future. Go now and register as voters and secure your chance to vote in next year's elections.
Former Minister of Defense Richard Siamunene has urged Zambian citizens to evaluate political leaders on their capabilities, vision and track record rather than claims of being anointed by former leaders. He emphasized that reliance on the legacy of past presidents undermines accountability and the country's democratic process. Mr. Siamunene warned against politicians exploiting the name of the late former president to gain political advantage. He said Zambians should focus on the programs and plans that candidates present and assess whether these initiatives will genuinely drive economic and social development. He further called on opposition parties to unite based on common agendas and shared visions rather than simply aiming to remove the current government from power. The former minister stressed the importance of choosing leaders with the right mindset, guided by love for the country, integrity, and a commitment to advancing Zambia's development.
A bit disturbed by the number of people who are claiming that they were anointed by the former President Edgar Lungu. A number of them have come forward and say, it is me who was anointed. Now, the question now is that these people who are taking advantage of his death, don't they have substance in themselves? They want to, when they fail in the future, given the chance to lead this country, and state that because I was following the rigors of the former president, that's why I've failed. Because we know that in Zambia there are politicians, they are found of not taking responsibility. Okay? Now, if they know that they want to lead this country and the Zambian people are the ones that are going to employ them, why don't they appeal to the Zambian people themselves and say, look, I have this formula, I have this vision to take this country to this level, and give me the chance, as opposed to claim on the anointment. That is not good accordingly.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency has launched investigations into the deaths of 3 people in Kalomo district of Southern Province who reportedly consumed a suspected illicit beer made from dangerous chemicals. The victims are said to have drunk a concoction allegedly brewed using methylated spirit, fertilizer, and tar mending solution substances that are not meant for human consumption. Acting Manager, Communications and Public Relations, Onishas Mamba, has expressed sadness over the incident, warning that consuming such unregulated beverages poses serious health risks. He explained that ingestion of toxic substances like methylated spirit can cause severe organ damage, blindness, or even death. He has since urged members of the public to refrain from buying or consuming beverages whose safety has not been certified by the agency.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency, ZCSA, has noted with sadness the reported deaths of 3 people in Kalomo district of Southern Province for consuming a suspected illicit beer allegedly made from methylated spirit, fertilizer, entire mending solution, among other substances which are not meant for human consumption. ZICSA, a statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, is mandated by the Compulsory Standards Act No. 3 of 2017 to administer, maintain and enforce compulsory standards for the purpose of public safety, health, consumer and environmental protection. ZICSA, which regulates beverages among other products, has taken interest in the matter and is currently collaborating with other state institutions to investigate the matter. Consumption of illicit beverages made from methylated spirit, fertilizer and other substances not meant for human consumption can cause damage to many body organs such as kidneys, heart and the eyes, or lead to severe poisoning and death. The agency is urging the public to buy beverages from trusted sources only and desist from consuming beverages whose safety has not been ascertained by ZICSA. ZICSA is further appealing to the public to report to their nearest ZICSA office any individual or firms which are involved in the illegal production and supply of beverages. The agency will intensify enforcement and public education activities on illegal production and sale of beverages in a quest to enhance the safety of consumers. ZICSA regulates opaque beer, clear beer, potable spirits, and table wines in a quest to protect the health of consumers. It is mandatory for all manufacturers, importers, and traders of the said beverages to obtain authority from the agency for them to legally supply the products on the market as provided for under the Compulsory Standards Act.
Mongu District Commissioner Morgan Akabeswa has commended the Ndowana Fathers Farming Club for their innovative initiative of collecting waste in town to produce items such as pillows and duvets. He noted that the club's efforts complement government programs aimed at poverty reduction, job creation and reducing carbon emissions in the atmosphere. The commendation followed a courtesy call by a UNDP team to the Mongu District Commissioner's office in Western Province. Meanwhile, the club secretary Bernadette Namposia highlighted that the club and the project also aims to combat early pregnancies among adolescents and reduce gender-based violence against women. Our reporter in Western Province, Msiewo Kabila, filed in this report.
A team from United Nations Development Program paid a courtesy call to Mongu District Commissioner Morgan Akabeso before checking on the performance of Ndowana Feathers Farming Club, the club they support. Ndowana Feathers Farming Club, with support from UNDP, plays a critical role, and it has been engaged in recycling of plastics, feathers collection, which result in job creation for youths, women and people living with disabilities. And Morgan Akabeso is Mongu District Commissioner.
Was very deliberate when we formed government in that it had to specifically put a component of women empowerment and youth empowerment under the Constituency Development Fund. The realization is, one, to empower you, and we want you to use this money prudently. Prudently, that's what I'm saying. So that you develop further and be sustainable. Even when UNDP has pulled away, that I think we have serviced you enough, stand on your own. That's what we expect. Share this money when it comes though. This money got to be invested, and the dividends now is what you share, but leaving the core.
Ndowana Feathers Farming Club Secretary Bernadette Namposia says the club has 45 members and created jobs for women, youth and people living with disabilities.
Now with the solar panels that we've installed, they enable us to work with the garments that we are making, or making the duvets 24/7, because we have power. Even if there is no ZESCO power, we are able to work and produce the garments or the things. This same thing will also help to curb the illicit behavior amongst the youth, and also reduce on the GPVs in the homes that we live in, especially as women.
And it's looking at the use of solar powered systems for either irrigation or agro-processing, or in the case of Wana, the chicken feather, using chicken feathers and turning them into final products, looking at pillows or blankets, or I think they can go more into detail in terms of the projects. So the whole purpose of this mission was to come and document sort of like the success stories and look at the best practices and interviews as.
Katukula Yali is the Wana Feathers Farming Club member.
Kona kuli muso okenise misebezi bagawasa zibikuba ukonye kufumana misebezi ya kukona kupangali kazale zeza kuli zatu sasi chabahape mwahala aluna kunani baba mbaba eza kuli likolone basiyezi fahali chwema kuli baipili seze bakona kuipilisa kamikwana yeyeza kwa mwe mwahala aluna.
Kelvin Kabira Mtsiebo, Camnet News in Mungu District, Western Province.
And that report takes us to our first set of commercials, but do join us for international and sports news. We'll come back. Do stay tuned.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana.
Savenda Farms' commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Thank you so much for still staying with us, and welcome back to the Camnet News Desk. And now, in international news. What was expected to be a day of peaceful democracy in Tanzania last Wednesday descended into turmoil as protests erupted in Dar es Salaam and other major cities after key opposition candidates were barred from contesting the presidential election. Clashes broke out between angry demonstrators and police, prompting authorities to impose a nationwide curfew and deploy the military to restore order. Social media was awash with reports of looting, vandalism, and deadly confrontations as internet access and mobile networks were severely disrupted. Vote counting is still underway, but early results released by state media indicate that President Samia Suluhu Hassan is heading for a landslide victory. However, international observers, including the European Parliament, have condemned the election as neither free nor fair, describing it as a fraud unfolding for months. Here is a roundup of international stories, courtesy of Africa News.
Of peaceful democracy in Tanzania. Instead, it descended into chaos. As voters headed to the polls, protests erupted in Dar es Salaam and other major cities after the main opposition candidates were barred from the presidential race. Angry demonstrators clashed with police, prompting a nationwide curfew and military deployment. Reports of looting, vandalism, and deadly skirmishes filled social media as internet access was throttled and phone networks went down. Vote counting continues, but early results from state media show President Samia Suluhu Hassan has a sweeping lead. The European Parliament has already condemned the polls as neither free nor fair, calling them a fraud unfolding for months. Critics say Tanzania, once a beacon of peace, is slipping into authoritarianism. Analysts warn the nation risks becoming a de facto one-party state unless deep political and constitutional. Hurricane Melissa has devastated Haiti, unleashing catastrophic flooding, mostly in the country's south. In Petit Goyave, residents describe torrents of water and mud sweeping through homes. One survivor, Jean Descroches, says only 2 members of his family escaped in time. The rest were lost in the flood. The water suddenly came rushing down on us. There were 7 of us at home and only 2 survived. We had 3 young children and 2 elderly relatives we couldn't save. The flood swept them away and they died. People in Petit Goyave say they have been without food and no shelters have been provided. The weather has devastated us here. We've lost both people and possessions. We don't even have a place to sleep. We're out on the streets with nowhere to rest, hungry and suffering twice over, enduring double misery. We have no shelter. It's something we simply don't have. Haiti has suffered the deadliest toll yet from Hurricane Melissa's torrential rains. Authorities say at least 30 people are dead and 20 are missing after days of relentless downpours. Although the storm never made landfall, its punishing rains drenched the impoverished nation, washing away homes, roads, and entire communities already struggling to recover from years of crisis. The Trump administration is slashing the number of refugees allowed into the United States and is prioritizing white South Africans. The new cap for 2026 drops from 125,000 under Biden to just 7,500, most of them reserved for members of South Africa's white Afrikaner minority. Washington says Afrikaners face discrimination, land seizures, and race-based violence under South Africa's black-led government, claims that Pretoria calls completely false. So far, about 400 Afrikaners have already been relocated under a fast-track program that began earlier this year. Critics say the move is racially motivated and ignores other global crises. Afrikaners once led South Africa's apartheid regime. Today they make up less than 5% of the population and remain active across society. President Trump signed an executive order accusing South Africa of rights abuses and ordering US agencies to prioritize Afrikaners. Last Wednesday was meant to be a day of peaceful...
And finally, in sports news this evening, the Zambia under-17 boys national team, led by coach Dennis Makinka, has arrived in Doha, Qatar, ahead of the highly anticipated FIFA World Cup. The junior Chipolo squad received a warm welcome at Hamad International Airport from Stanley Kachabe, the charge d'affaires at the Zambian embassy in Qatar, and FIFA officials. The team was presented with official World Cup sashes in Zambian colors, boosting their morale and excitement for the tournament. Coach Makinka has brought a 25-man squad to Qatar, which will be trimmed down to 21 players before the tournament kicks off next week. The squad includes talented young players such as goalkeepers Roger Simumba, Wiseman Nkumbu Nyerenda, and Christo Stambala, defenders Jonathan Momba Kalimina, Xavier Chola Mwansa, Andrew Mwape, midfielders Mike Bwaliamtale, Nelson Chilemu, and Ntasilwe Malupande, and strikers Ebel Salimu Nyerongo, Billy Daka, and Daniel Silobonde. The team's arrival in Qatar marks the beginning of a crucial period in their World Cup campaign, and fans are eagerly awaiting their performance on the pitch. We can only wish all the best to the young Chipolo boys as they begin this tournament. And that particular item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. Civil society organizations urge government to halt flawed constitutional reform consultations. NELLY MUTTI orders MPIKA and MKUSHI South MPs to produce evidence on power exports. Government on course to attain 1 million metric tons of copper production. In international news, Tanzania plunges into chaos as opposition barred from presidential race. In sports, Zambia under-17 boys touch down in Qatar for FIFA World Cup. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 28. It reads, "Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you." We end the reading and we end the main news on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, do remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel, now broadcasting live on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kstream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. Good evening and God bless.